Do you know how to deal with your autistic triggers? Do you know how to emotionally regulate yourself? Do you know how to understand your own emotions? On a previous video, I talked about the Hoffman feelings list. I'll give you, in this video, I'll give you a link to that. And today I will be talking about the ways to regulate your emotions. This is from a manual. I won't be able to give you the link to it because it's a book. I have the book online and I purchased it and I have it, so I can't give it away for free because that's not the way things work. So, but I will guide you through an emotional regulation checklist. It sounds rather simple, but considering that a lot of autistic people, they get wound up, they get triggered, and then they act upon that trigger and have outbursts that are unnerving to the other 98% of those in the public that are neurotypical. We are neurodiverse. We do not take in the same kind of information that people that are typical take in. We have problems because we take in a lot more information, and some of us can see and think in pictures. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. We can be pulling in stuff 1,000 times faster than other people, and it may trigger us because we're frustrated because we're not able to understand what that data means to us and how to deal with it. And so then we can get triggered that way. So I'm going to dive into it. So, just as an example of the Hoffman feelings list, you can be angry and annoyed, and you can be agitated because something's not going your way. You're getting frustrated because somebody's not communicating the way you normally understand how to communicate, and that's frustrating. So you have to first be able to identify how you're feeling. Then you have to know what that emotion means to you. So, what does being agitated feel like? What does it look like? Do you make sounds, or are other people making sounds that cause you to be agitated? Um, do you make others agitated? Do you all around become agitated? Anywhere around you, do other people become agitated along with you? Um, so you have to look at these things. What do these emotions do to you that can cause you to get triggered? So what you want to do is obviously you want to stop that emotion. So one way of stopping that emotion is look for something that is the exact opposite, and try and figure out how to get there. So being agitated, how about being calm? Well, being calm, first you may need to become centered. So if you're agitated, you're off kilter, you're off center. So if you look at that you're off balance, and then you got to get your emotions back into balance. So you have to center yourself. You have to understand that, hey, I'm being agitated and I'm causing a disturbance that's agitating others as well. And I don't like this feeling. They don't like this feeling. I need to stop it. I need to figure out how to stop it. I need to pull myself out of my own emotions and understand that I need to stop this. So I need to first center. I need to center myself. And then I can become calm, because a calm mind is a mind that is able to deal with the situation. An agitated mind is not going to be able to deal well with the situation. You might be able to bully yourself out of that situation, but those people are going to be pissed off at you later. So if you just center yourself and calm yourself and look at the problem, is it as big as you think it is? I bet it's not, because usually things, if they're caught in time, are very small, and you may be able to deal with it very quickly. And you may be able to relieve yourself of this agitation and of this problem fairly quickly if you just calm yourself, center yourself, and let the problem proceed and try and work with people to find a solution. So you want to change the unwanted emotions, in which I gave a good explanation of how you can do this. And then also, you want to decrease your vulnerability to becoming agitated, because you haven't just become agitated this first time. You have probably been agitated many times in the past. So you have to look at what happens before you become agitated, because there's something that happens before that starts triggering it. And then all of a sudden you pop off and become agitated. So, is there a pattern? Look for that pattern, especially when you become agitated again. Because if you become agitated this time, and you can't deal with it well enough, you'll probably become agitated another time. So, what you can do is you can slow down, and think about what happens before you become agitated. And even if you become agitated, you can tell the other person, hey, I'm getting agitated here, and it's not your fault. It's my mind. I have to take care of this. I need to take a break for a couple minutes, and then I'll be right back. Because if I don't take a break, things are only going to get worse, and I may pop off on somebody. You don't want that. I don't want that. I need to take a break. Is it okay that I take like a 5 minute break? Uh, Is that possible? Can you help me? If you ask the person and you explain to them that you don't want to agitate them, you don't want to set them off, you don't want to harm them, um, and you need a little bit of a break, as long as you explain that in that way, most reasonable people will give you a 5 or 10 minute break. And as long as you show what's in it for them. Because if all you are is, hey, you're making me agitated, you better stop this, or I'm going to report you, that ain't helping nobody. That's only going to piss them off. You're only going to be using that as being a victim to your own emotions. And then you're going to show that you're not emotionally intelligent, that you're not trying to figure out how to regulate your emotions. You're just going to be using that as a weapon against people to manipulate them to get what you want. And then they'll just, after they deal with you this one time, they'll know that you're just a manipulative person. So if you show what's in it for them, that you don't want to harm them, you don't want to harm yourself, you're getting agitated, and you need to step back in order to release these emotions and center yourself and calm yourself, and then you can get back to whatever problem that it is, and you can explain that. You can say, hey, listen, I'm getting a little bit emotionally off kilter here. I'm getting a little bit agitated, and it's not your fault. It's my fault. There are my emotions. Uh, Let me take a break, please, and I'll get right back to you. And I just need 5 minutes to center myself. I'm doing these exercises, and I don't want to destroy our relationship. I don't want to disturb you. I am having a bad day, and I want to fix it. I want to, deal with this problem, and we can, do it way quicker if all I do is take 5 minutes and take a little break, and then we can get back to this. And I'll bet you we'll be able to figure out a solution very quickly. And because that's what I want to do for you, is find the fastest solution that works for everybody. So how about you just give me a minute to reset myself, and then we can move forward. So, um, so decrease your vulnerability by looking at your patterns and where you can stop that pattern. Put in a breaker, like you're turning off. Like sometimes if you got a surge, you're using your hair dryer, and then all of a sudden you turn it on and you got some other stuff going on in the same socket, and all of a sudden that breaker switch on the outside pops. There's a reason why that happens, because the housing commission, the person that built the house, doesn't want your house burning down. It doesn't want electrical fire flying out at you and catching your bathroom on fire, and maybe even electrocuting you before anybody can get to you. So you want to put in a breaker before you get to that emotional deregulation. So so you want to increase your resilience, because if you just walk around going, I'm highly sensitive, I'm highly sensitive, I'm highly sensitive, well, people will stay away from you, and you will not become the most popular person around. When there's a crisis, they will not ask you to help. And so you'll be a less valuable member of the team, especially if you're in the workplace. They won't look to you to be a leader. They will look to you and they will give you directions on what you're supposed to do. And you may not like that because you may not agree with those directions because you may have a better idea. But they're not willing to listen to it because you're a highly sensitive person and they don't want to offend you. So they'll just leave you alone. And you won't move up in the company. You won't get more responsibility. You won't get higher pay. So, do you want higher pay? Do you want to move up in the world? Do you want to grow? So, emotional intelligence is the best way to do that. Working with people is the best way to do that. So, let's make that happen. So, you want to increase your resilience. You want to be able to increase your ability to cope with real world problems. And you want to put this into practice. So, this is just a simple thing. Try it. I hope you like it. I hope you have downloaded your feelings list. Check it out. If you don't know how to identify your feelings, you won't know what your feelings are and you won't be able to deal with them. And you'll still have the same problems each and every day that you've been having. And I hope this can help. So, this has been Dan. This is Finding Your Hidden Superpower: Autism, Asperger's, and those of us who are neurodiverse. So, I hope this can help you out, and I will put the links in the description below. Have a great night.